I noticed on one of something you mentioned that you disagree with some folks as far as the Gospel of John. You believe it was written earlier. Is that?
I do believe it was written earlier, and I certainly believe it was written by John Bar Zebedee without question. Okay. And there are many scholars who agree. John A.T. Robinson, D.A. Carson, many scholars believe that. I'm not the only one. Leon Morris. There are quite a few.
Right.
And I think that whole idea that there was a later community that made it up is been kind of challenged. Mm-hmm. I love the Gospel of John, and the more I read it, the more I love it, the more I get into it.
It's rich.
Oh yeah, and
detailed.
And unbelievable scenes.
Right.
And of course there are questions. You ask yourself, well, why did the others leave out the raising of Lazarus? Mm-hmm. Why did they do that? Why did they leave out the wedding feast at Cana? Mm-hmm. And I tried in the novel to work out some possible answers. Well, they didn't all see the miracle of Cana, that type of thing. And I wanted to establish that from the beginning, people were quarreling about what Jesus did. Right then at the wedding feast, the way I wrote it, they're quarreling. Did he really do this or not? Who saw it? Who didn't? And his James, Jesus' brother, demands, "Did you do this?" So I think I was trying to show that he met that kind of quarreling all through his ministry.
Okay. Have you ever thought about being on any panels with some of these scholars and sort of having it out? That would be a fascinating...
Well, I don't think I can stand toe-to-toe with these guys because I can't read Greek and Latin.
Okay.
And I can't read Hebrew. And I can't really study the ancient texts the way they can.
Right.
But I can study them, and I can email them and ask them questions.
Oh, really?
And I do, and they answer.
Have you struck up some relationships and friendships?
I have indeed, yeah.
Really?
I don't want to mention because I don't want to, if the person, I don't want to...
Other writers might steal your sources.
Well, no, it's not that.
I'm going to NT Wright right now.
But it's just, I don't want to put responsibility on them. I read a lot of NT Wright.
Sure.
I read a lot of Craig Keener. Okay. A lot of him. I think he's just a fabulous scholar. And Richard Buckham, another great scholar.
I have an Anglican friend who says, when I was in London this past summer, he said, it's funny, I have many more Catholic friends who love N.T. Wright, and I have far more Anglican friends who love James Allison.
Oh, really?
It's
amazing.
So it's a little cross-purposing there. It's kind of interesting.
But the Anglican scholars have been top-notch in biblical studies. They really have.